Welcome to Isshin, Two Heavens as One. As far as our opening hand goes, yeah? Do we want to keep on this? We've got some good stuff. We got Path to Exile, we have Thran Dynamo online, we've got Enlightened Tutor. Yeah, we'll keep on this one. If we weren't on the play, we could maybe send this back because we don't have mana for Isshin. I mean, it'd be hard to send back Enlightened Tutor and Path to Exile, but this is right on the cusp of, we've got 4 lands, that's going to be Thran Dynamo. Typically, I'm just always looking for some sort of card advantage in your opening hand, but yes, we can definitely make this work, so we will have some fun. But yes, welcome to Isshin, Two Heavens as One. Hope you're excited to get some Mardu attack steps, and there we go. Run into I guess either way we need to split this to where we grab just one color source. So let's go ahead and drop in. And I don't think we need to go for Enlightened Tutor just yet. So let's drop in Fabled Passage. Let's go and crack Fabled Passage. Just go and grab ourselves a Swamp. Or do we want to grab a Plains? That way we have access to double white, because that'll be white. Yeah, actually, we'll do that. So we'll grab Plains, have that enter the battlefield, and then anything else. Let's pass the turn over to our opponent. We're playing Isshin, Two Heavens as One. If a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Playing gets Sram, which we will cover in just a second. So we run into Prismatic Vista, which I think we're good with. So let's drop in Prismatic Vista. And so what we can do on this is we can Path to Exile on Sram and just kind of chew up another turn. Yeah, I think I kind of like that. So let's go and crack Prismatic Vista. Let's go and grab ourselves a black source. Let's go Path to Exile on Sram because we just want to stop that card advantage. We could have held on to that, but if we can at least chew up another turn to where they've got to make a land drop and then get down Sram again, that gives us the chance to kind of further our board state and hopefully kind of compete with the card draw engine over there. So that's what we're hoping for. Let's get Sram back in the command zone. With Sram, whenever you cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle spell, draw a card. So they're going to be able to get down Sram, but at least we kind of fogged them out for a turn. Oh, they're going to go for Swiftfoot Boots. Okay, there we go. So good play on that. So let's see what we rip into. If not, Austere Command. Yeah, I like that. So let's drop in Mountain, and we'll see if our opponent has their very own 1 mana removal. Let's go for Isshin and see if this is good. Get down the Dual Wielder, the Samurai Sword, and then anything else, pass it over to our opponent. So we did cover both commanders. So give a quick shout out to our sponsors, TCG Player. If you go to bit.ly/JoltMTG, that will apply my affiliate link. That'll allow you to get some cards and help support the channel at the same time. So if you do use that link, much obliged. I certainly appreciate it. So give a quick shout out to MTGOTraders if you want to play Magic Online, inkgaming.com/Jolt for 10% off of your order. And last but not least, I started a Patreon, so if you'd like to directly support cool content like this, there's a link down in the description below. But if you're keeping score at home with 2 pens or pencils like Isshin, boy, is it officially free time. Let's have some fun. So, all right, so we're looking at a 3-4 that we're going to be able to get in, and we've got nothing else for the turn other than Thran into Soul Ring. So I don't think it really matters, but we're just going to get the Scrub Land drop in. Let's go and swing across for a 3-4. There we go. Get in for some damage, drop him down to 37, get in for 3 total commander damage, and then that's going to allow us to end up going for Thran Dynamo. So we go Soul Ring, and that still keeps us open on Enlightened Tutor. Yeah, that's a little bit better sequencing. So let's drop in Soul Ring. Let's go Thran Dynamo. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And that still keeps us open on Enlightened Tutor. So anything else, let's go and pass the turn over to our opponent. Now, as far as grabbing an Enlightened Tutor line of play, I don't think we have a artifact creature that we can tutor up with Enlightened Tutor, which is unfortunate. I don't think we do. So we'll see what we can do on that. This is going to be Helm of the Host. Okay. So they're going to get a card draw off of that. I guess technically what we can do if we wanted to is we can go for Austere Command, destroy all artifacts, destroy all creatures with mana value 3, and unfortunately that's going to hit Sram. Yeah, we might have to hit a reset button on this. And we can always Enlighten Tutor for Mana Crypt to kind of get back ahead of this. Yeah, I think I kind of like that. Okay. All right, so we're going to set up a... Yeah, I like that. So let's go Enlighten Tutor. All right, so we got Sram swinging in for 2. That's going to drop us down to 37. He's going to come over and kick us in the Tinker Boots. There we go. Drop us down to 37. That's 2 total commander damage. Yeah, let's go Enlighten Tutor. Because if we end up going Austere Command next turn, at least want to have some sort of follow-up play. So do we want... Well, So we do have Fervent Charge if we want to grab that. That's something we could go for. So we can get that down. That's going to be, how much mana we got? We've got a pretty good chunk, but I don't know if we can get the double color mana going. Let's make this just a little bit smaller. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we do have 10 total mana. So we can actually Austere and Fervent, which I kind of like that. So let's grab that. So let's grab Fervent Champion. But unfortunately, we're going to miss out on the double white with Austere Command if we're trying to get Fervent Charge. But either way, I think we're okay with that. So let's just grab Fervent Charge. It's going to go on top of our library. And I like the Austere Command line of play. I like this. So let's do this. So let's go for the... Let's make the land drop for the turn. That's going to be Mountain. Yeah, because no matter how we sequence it, we're going to miss out on the double Austere Command. So let's go and get in for a 3/4. Swing across it. We've got more than enough mana to go for this Austere Command, which we're perfectly fine with. So we're going to swing in for a 3/4, drop them down to 34. That's 6 total commander damage. Let's go and go for our Austere Command. So we're going to destroy all artifacts, and then destroy all creatures with mana value 3 or less, which that is correct. So let's go for that. So it's going to be double white, tap down that, and we'll tap down... I guess we'll still just go and add the mana to our mana pool, because either way we're going to destroy, but I don't think it's going to matter. All right, so we clear the board out, and unfortunately we miss out on 1 white mana on that Fervent Charge, but we can make it work. So we'll return Isshin back to the command zone, and then anything else, pass the turn over to our opponent. So we got rid of Helm of the Host, we got rid of Swiftfoot Boots, we had the Core Spirit Dancer that we got rid of too. With Core Spirit Dancer, it's going to be +2/+2, and then that extra card advantage is just something that we just don't really want to compete with right now. So I'm hoping that our opponent just simply just rolls out Sram for 6 total mana and passes the turn. Either way, if we end up going for our commander, we still got the commander attack set up with being able to get it down for 5, and then following it up with Fervent Charge for next turn. So we've got the mana. So let's see what this 6 mana is. Let's see if it's a 6 mana Sram or not. I like that. Yeah, there we go. Let's get down Sram. And then we'll see what we draw into for next turn. We're probably going to end up going for Isshin just to get that down. Ooh, War Leader. Okay, so we drop in Battlements. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We actually have just enough. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 to go for War Leader and give it haste. And I kind of do like that. So let's tap down double white. So we get down War Leader. Let's go for Battlements onto War Leader. Oh yeah, look at this. Let's get some extra tokens on the battlefield. And the next turn we can set up Isshin. I like that. All right, so we're swinging in. Get those cat tokens onto the battlefield. Tapped and attacking. Sram's going to be able to kick one of the cats out of its lab. And then we'll be able to get him for 5. And yeah, can you imagine a cat? Hold on, we'll look at this in a second. Anything else past the turn? Can you imagine a cat running around his lab? My goodness, there's probably a lot of stuff they were going to knock over. I totally get where Sram would want to block on that. But yeah, so we've got this set up. We've got it set up for Isshin for next turn, which I think we can, if we make the land drop, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we have a land drop with battlements, we can set that up. We've got the double red, so we can get those extra cat tokens on the battlefield, so we'll see. All right, so our opponent's going to get down Sword of Light and Shadow. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, gain 3 life and return 1 creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And so that's going to be an equip for 2, and that still gives them the cast on Core Spirit Dancer. So that's something we're going to watch out for. So protection from white and black. One of the good things about Sword of Light and Shadow is if they do swing in, at least that does clear the way for us to get in next turn. And so that's going to keep us open on that. All right, so they're going to be swinging in. That's going to drop us down to 35. But yeah, as far as the deck goes, this is just kind of Mardu mid-range. And I don't think I've talked about the deck in this video. I just got done recording Isshin in a shorter video, so I'm not sure if this is going to be postable by itself or we have another video from earlier, so we'll see. But yeah, as far as the build on this deck, this is just Mardu control. You know, we've got a lot of spot removal. We've got a lot of different ways to just make some nice tokens, just like War Leader. You know, just having those extra attack tokens. Hey, we'll take it. It's always nice. So, and then let's see what we're drawn to. Drawn to Goblin Rabblemaster. Okay. So we can go for Isshin, but I think at this point with Fervent Charge, so we can get Isshin. That's going to be extra tokens on the battlefield. I think I kind of like getting this down and setting up Fervent Charge for next turn. Yeah, let's do that. So let's get Isshin down. So unfortunately we don't hit the land drop and tap down for 1 more. We'll leave up Path to Exile mana. Let's go and swing in with the entire crew. Yeah, because there's just an O2 out there. So let's get the double cat tokens. Look at that card art. I love it. We got the war leader out there. They're gonna. That is. If you don't know, I have a production assistant named Dorothy, and she's my cat. And I get up at like 4:30 or 5 every morning, and sometimes her internal clock gets off, and so she tries to get me up around like 3 o'clock in the morning, and that is her running across the bed, jumping on my stomach to get me up. So if you want to know what it's like to be with a cat that tries to get you up early, that's what it is. Oh no! All right, so destroy target tapped creature. So it's going to take care of War Leader. Okay, that's fine. At the very least, we've got Goblin Rabble Master to get some extra tokens. So we can kind of make something out of that. All right, so we got Mace Enchantress coming down. And we've got some stuff. So we'll see if they end up stopping with Sram or swinging in with Sram or just kind of leaving up that protection. All right, so they're going to swing in with Sram. That's going to give us a free combat step. One of the things with Sword of Light and Shadow, that is a creature card. So we're actually in a pretty good spot. All right, so it's going to be gain 3 life and return up to 1 creature, so there's no creature that they can return. We do miss out on our Token Enabler and War Leader, but if we can set up Rabble Master for next turn, we might be able to get that going. But since we've got so many cat tokens, we might just end up going for a Fervent Charge. I think that's a very, very good line of play. So we've got, okay, yeah, let's go Fervent Charge. I like this. That's going to be 1/2, and then we tap down on Rogue's Passage. Yeah, I like that. There we go. And then we can drop in Goblin Rabble Master too. So let's get that down. So this will be Goblin Rabble Master. Let's go and push in. So we're going to get the Goblin with haste. And so they have 2 creatures. So we're going to send in Isshin at our commander. And we're going to sing, because that's going to be double. That's going to be +2. That's going to be 5. So as long as we send in 3, attack Gideon, attack Gideon, attack Gideon. And then we're going to have this go at our opponent, this go at our opponent, and then this go at our opponent. So we've got 3 at Gideon, which is going to be 2 blockers, and that's going to make it +2/+2. That's going to be 5. So that should be the crew. All right, so let's get, oh, look at all these beautiful triggers. Let's go and always yield to this Fervent Charge trigger. Look at that. That's some good stuff right there. All right, so we got the 5s coming across. We got a 7/8 Isshin. We've got a 5/5 Gerblin swinging in too. So let's see how they decide to block on this one. But, hey, this is what we're going for. And we got lifelink too, which is going to be very, very good. So we've got enough to take care of Gideon. All right, so it looks like our opponent's going to stop and block with Mesa Enchantress. The good thing is we're getting rid of some really nice card draw pieces from our opponent. So anything else, pass the turn to our opponent. Well, if that lifelink hit, we're up to 61. Which is very good. So we'll see what else our opponent's got for the turn. You know, something along the lines of Wrath of God. Something along those lines is something that we don't really want to see. But at least in this point, they're going to have to flood the board with a ton of creatures. Shatter the Sky. Each player who controls a creature power 4 or greater draws a card, and then destroy all other creatures. All right, so we're going to get a card draw in, which we're cool with. Yes, we'll return that back to the command zone. And another good thing is we've got Isshin with some haste out of the, well, we'll see if we got enough, because that's going to be 5, that's going to be 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, we've got just enough to get down to Isshin. So if we rip into a creature that's hasty, we might be able to do something with this. They are at 12. I don't think we're going to take care of them this turn, but we shall see. All right, so we run into Chromatic Lantern. Isshin's going to be, yeah, 7. We're paying the full iron price for Isshin on this one. Let's get that down. The only good thing is Sram is equally as beat up too, trying to get down Sram. So let's have Isshin enter the battlefield. I'm not going to be able to swing in an attack on this one, but at least next turn we're going to have the double Fervent, and hopefully we can get some card advantage, or at least get a creature down, maybe some hasty options. So we've got some good utility lands right now that's going to help us go towards the late game. With Isshin, we've got Rogue's Passage, so if they do end up getting some creatures out there, even if they get down Sram and go for a Sword of Light and Shadow, we've got the 2-mana equip that's going to give it protection from white, and so we're going to be able to stop on that. And then at the very least, Terminus. All right. So Isshin's going to go back to the command zone. Let's see what this is. That's going to be Gideon of the Trials. Okay. Okay, so we've got ourselves a game on this one. We've got some Gideon, and they've got the emblem. As long as you control a Gideon. Let's go. Let's say we run into Mortify. Okay, so I guess at this point we just end up going Chromatic Lantern. Actually, let's take a quick look at this. All right, so we've got Handwear Battlements, and we definitely don't control both of them, so we can't do that. So let's go Chromatic Lantern. It's like, hey, we can get cute with that, but that is not going to work. So we get down Chromatic Lantern, and then anything else past the turn. So we do have Destroy Target Creature or Enchantment. So our opponent doesn't have any enchantments out there, but if they get Sram and they go for that Sword of Light and Shadow, we're definitely going to make that trade with Mortify on Sram. But yeah, as far as the deck goes, I think this is going to be a standalone video, so I'm going to jump back into what we're actually doing in the deck. If you never played Mardu before, the Indestructible Human, unfortunately we don't have the Exile effect. That'd be so nice if we did, and that's going to be a Sword of Light and Shadow. Yeah, so we might be, I mean, we're at 61, so we've got some time, but 10 hits from Gideon, or technically 7 hits from Gideon, and that's going to be a little rough, so we'll see what's going to happen. All right, so it's going to drop us down. But yeah, as far as the core deck goes, if you've never built Mardu before, one of the absolute best strengths of Mardu is just running a ton of removal. You've got Swords of Plowshare, Path to Exile, you've got your 2-mana black removal spells, you got your 3-mana Orzhov exile effects or destroys target effects. There's just a lot of stuff that you can be doing in this, and it just helps you get some really good board control. You've got access to a ton of board wipes. So if you're thinking about building, oh my goodness, we got Elspeth coming down. Oh man, I'm glad we got our swing in when we did. But this is, if you're keeping a score at home, we're at 55. But this is a scary 55 if you want to keep that in mind. And yeah, so Gideon is indestructible, protection from white and black, indestructible. Okay. Let's see what we get into. Okay, so that's going to be Naomi. So let's see. So destroy all creature power 4 or greater. So we can at least tap out for Isshin. I think that's going to be enough. That's going to be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, excuse me. We're sitting at 8. We haven't made the land drop. So let's go for Naomi. And we can still give Naomi haste, which I kind of do like. Tap down for black. And then tap down for Scrubland. And then Rogue's Passage. Okay. All right. So we got Naomi. Enters the battlefield or attacks if you control an artifact and an enchantment, which we do. We're going to get the enchantment creature out there. Let's go for Battlements. And so that actually was a pretty good draw. So target creature gains haste until end of turn. And that should allow us to, yeah, and that's going to be the attack step too. All right, so we're going to be able to swing in. So let's go and send in, man, we're fighting an uphill battle right now, trying to figure out if we go for Gideon or Elspeth. I think what we need to do is we need to go for Elspeth. Either way, it's going to be a token that they're going to go, yeah, either way. Okay, all right, so let's get down the Naomi trigger. Let's get the Fervent Charge trigger. That's going to be +2/+2. That's going to make it a 6/6. If they end up going for the -3, that does kind of complicate things, but at least we did get a creature on the battlefield with the Samurai token and another Samurai token, which is, yeah, look at that token art. Love it. All right, so swinging across for a 6/6 at Elspeth. Probably going to see a soldier token block in front of it. And then if they don't, okay, yeah, we're going to see. There we go. All right, so it's going to be soldier token jumping in front of that. That's going to be nothing. Get rid of a soldier token, and then anything else, we pass the turn to our opponent. So at least with us having these creatures on the battlefield, this gives us just extra army fodder to try to either deal with Gideon or Elspeth. But we're in a pretty rough spot. If they just keep going for that +1 with Elspeth, like if I'm in their spot, we have no flying out here. And in the world of, no matter how many fervent charge triggers you're getting during the combat step, as long as you got an entire board state of tokens, you're in a pretty good spot. And especially if you just go for Sword of Light and Shadow onto one of those tokens, that's really going to complicate what we're trying to go for, because that gets rid of it's until end of turn. I don't know who they targeted, but I think they targeted one of our tokens. But yeah, our opponent might get it on this one. We'll see what we can rip. Oh my goodness. This is White Super Friends right here. This is Mono White Super Friends. My goodness. All right, so it's going to be a core soldier token. It's going to be Sword of Light and Shadow. Look at them. Look, somebody told the Mono White Super Friends gang that Isshin was out here with 2 swords, and they got really mad and showed up in full force. Okay. But at least you got to see what the deck is capable of. I'm not saying we're not going to win this game, but I'm also saying this is We've got we got a whole board state of creatures over there we got to deal with. So all right, so we run into Grave Titan. So we can get some hasty options off of that. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's just enough to go for Grave Titan. Yeah, let's have some fun with it. All right, so we need to leave up battlements, and we need to leave up 1 red mana. So let's go black. Let's go black. We're ripping into some gas. We'll take it. And now it does have protection from white and black, but thankfully it will not get rid of Grave Titan. And we have exactly just enough red mana for Grave Titan. So there we go. All right, so let's get down Grave Titan. Yeah, I mean, this is something. If you need a creature that's going to get some extra tokens on the battlefield, because it's going to be 4/4s coming across. I mean, we're going to be able to make some trades on this. We just got to figure out how we want to swing in and block, how we want to, who to attack as far as threat assessment goes. So let's get down Grave Titan. Our opponent is at 0 cards in the hand, so we don't have to worry about any sort of combat tricks. All right, so we're going to get the zombie tokens entering the battlefield. Let's go for battlements. Target creature gains haste. And look at the work that Battlements is putting in right now. So let's go and push in. Okay, so we're going to see soldier tokens blocking for days. So I think what we're going to do on this one is we're going to prioritize Grave Titan on Gideon, because that's going to take a lot of resources. Let's have Naomi swing in at Elspeth, Samurai token in at Elspeth, and then Samurai token in at Gideon. Okay, so we're leaving Nahiri on the battlefield because that's just going to be another night token. So I like this. So we're going to end up getting the Fervent triggers. Let's go and get those on there. Let's get the Naomi trigger on the stack, the Grave Titan trigger on the stack, and let's go and always yield to these Fervent charge triggers. Let's get the double Grave Titan tokens on the battlefield. Let's get the extra Samurai token on the battlefield. And let's see how they decide to go for it. So we've got a 6/6 and 8/8. So we've got Grave Titan swinging in at Gideon. That's going to be protection from, protection from white and black. So they're going to be able to stop that. We'll see the soldier tokens block on the samurai tokens. And that's going to leave Naomi. Oh, excuse me. They had the prevent all combat damage clause on there. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I got a little mixed up on that one. All right, so anything else past the turn. So we're still in a good spot. We've got a lot of tokens that are going to be able to swing in for next turn. They do have the -3 option. If they go for the -3, power 4 or greater, that's going to get rid of Grave Titan and it's going to get rid of Naomi. But at least we still have an entire board state of Fervent Charge triggers, tokens that we can swing in with. So we'll see what they're going to do with that. So it's going to be a core soldier token onto the battlefield. If we want to, we've got Mortify for next turn for one of these creatures. When they've got a ton of tokens out there, yeah, we'll see what we can do about that. So let's see if, this is the key factor. All right, so they're going to go for the -3 on that, on Elspeth. All right, so they're going to clear the board out. It's going to leave all of our samurai tokens and our zombie tokens out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're still at 8 mana, so we've got to get to 10 mana if we want to get Isshin down and go for the hasty option. Well, actually, with Isshin, just getting it down gets that trigger going. So if we get to that 10 mana, we can make that work. Ooh, goodness. That is Sigil of the Empty Throne. Okay. So with Mortify, at least we can deal with that angel token, because if they cast an enchantment spell and they get full 4 angels, that is pretty much game. So I think that's what we're going to do, is probably going to end up going for Mortify on Sigil. And let's see. So we've got Wingmate Rock, which is flying. So that's going to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 8 total mana. So they've got 0 cards in the hand. So we can be conservative and go Wingmate Rock, get that down, and then still go for Mortify on Sigil. But if they rip into an enchantment, that's going to be an angel token. I think we roll the dice on this. I like getting a hasty Wingmate Rock in here. I think I do like that. Yeah, let's roll the dice on that. All right, so we're going to go double white on this one. Let's get down Wingmate Rock. We just need to get in as much damage as possible, and that's what we're trying to do right now. So that's going to be Battlements. Yeah, because then that allows us to deal with Gideon and get rid of Elspeth in the air. Yeah, I like that. So we'll tap down on Scrubland. So we get down Wingmate Rock, because we can swing in Wingmate Rock in at Elspeth with the haste option. We're going to get that life gain. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we've got just enough tokens to kind of like trade almost. So let's go for Battlements. Target creature gains haste. So that's going to take care of Elspeth. Let's go to our attack step. And this one is prevent all damage that will be dealt by this permanent. So let's swing Wingmate Rock in at Elspeth. Let's go Samurai token at Gideon, Gideon, Gideon. So we got 3 swinging in at Gideon. We got the zombie tokens in at Gideon, because we can always deal with Nahiri in the air next turn. So let's just send the entire crew at Gideon. All right, so we got 3 and 3 all at Gideon. That's going to force a pretty big block from our opponent. They will be able to stop one of it with the Sword of Light and Shadow trigger. But let's get the Wingmate Rock trigger onto the stack. Always yield to these Fervent Charge triggers. It's going to be +2, +2, +2, +2, and then get the Wingmate Rock. But yeah, with this deck, we're also running just a ton of mid-range value threats like Grave Titan and Wingmate Rock, and so it's nice to get that going. All right, so we jump back up to 62, and let's see. Okay, so we got Wingmate that's going to take care of Gideon, and we do take care of Elspeth. All right, so we got the crew taken care of. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. So they're at 0 cards right now. They do have Nahiri, but at least in the air with the 4/4, we're going to be able to block with Wingmate Rock. I'm just keeping our fingers crossed that they did not draw into an enchantment spell. Then we can use this Mortify for next turn. And then we might be in a pretty good spot to kind of close it out. So let's see what that is. Armored Sky Hunter, okay. Whenever it attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library, put in an aura and equipment card onto the battlefield. Okay, all right, so we got a blocker in the air. I like this. This is good. We're doing pretty good. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've got 7 creatures on the battlefield, and we've got 7, and then one's going to trade out with that core token. So we got Mortify, and we also do have Rogue's Passage for next turn, and we also do have Isshin going for double Fervent Charge trigger. So let's see what we can assemble for next turn, because we've got some stuff that we can do. Okay, opponent's going to go for a Nahiri activation, and that's going to be a core soldier token. And let's see what we draw into for the turn. That's going to be Godless Shrine. Okay, so they've got a way to block in the air. They've got the +2, which we can try to deal with Nahiri for next turn. If we end up going for the either way with Fervent Champion, I think we've got it. We don't have it, but I think we need to go Mortify on Sigil. Because if they start getting Angel tokens, that is not going to be good. Okay, so let's do that. So let's go Mortify on Sigil. So we're going to get rid of the Angel threat. And yeah, I think we just send the entire crew in. So we've got at least just enough mana for a Rogue's Passage. So let's go for Rogue's Passage on Wingmate Rock. And actually, we can just put it on a zombie token, I guess. I guess technically it doesn't really matter on this one, whatever. We just want to get in as much damage as possible. Yeah, I think we do. I think this is what we need to do. We put it on Wingmate Rock because we want to get in as much damage. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Let's drop in Godless Shrine. Not going to pay 2 on that one. I guess technically we could if we wanted to. We've got no cards in the hand. And all of these creatures are going to swing in at our opponent. So there we go. All right, so we got the Fervent Charge triggers. Let's get those on the stack. Actually, put the Wingmate Rock trigger on the stack. There we go. So we can always yield to the Fervent Charge triggers. Let's always yield to that. That's going to bump us up to a 70. And we've got a board state swinging in. So can't be blocked. We were getting in for 5. That's going to at least drop them down to 10. And hopefully, they're still going to end up with a soldier token in protection with Sword of Light and Shadow. And so, but this is going to hopefully clear out a lot of these tokens and put us in a pretty good spot. I guess technically we could have left up Wingmate Rock as an option to block on Armored Sky Hunter. We're trying to get in as much damage as possible right now. We need to clear the stuff out, and if they get an extra piece of equipment on it, so be it. So, all right, so let's see if they decide to trade either way. And actually, they're going to leave up Armored Sky Hunter. There we go. All right, so that drops them down to 10. We still have all of our tokens, and then anything else past the turn to our opponent. So they're in top deck mode. They've got Nahiri out there. They can go for the -2, put an equipment card from your hand or the graveyard onto the battlefield. They've got Helm of the Host, if that's something that they want to do. With Nahiri, they're looking at the +2. They're looking at the -10, which they're going to be able to get to that with the +2, but they're going to have to go all the way until next turn. So we'll see what they've drawn into. Hopefully they didn't rip into a board wipe. 5 mana. That's going to be Batterskull. Okay, so that will be some life gain. And let's see what else they're going for. That's going to be another 5 mana they're tapping out for. Potentially putting Batterskull onto something else, onto the 7/7. So that's going to be life gain. That's going to put them up to 17. But if they don't have enough creatures, I think we're going to get it on this one. So this is going to be Armored Sky Hunter. They have no mana to go for that Armored Sky Hunter trigger. So I think we're in a good spot. So they're going to go for that. They get down Sword of Feast and Famine, which they can't go for the equip. That's a pretty good grab off of Sky Hunter. And then next turn, we've got enough mana to... Yeah, we got enough to clear it out. So they're... Oh, actually, excuse me. They get to untap with the Sword of Feast and Famine off of that Sky Hunter and untap all lands you control. So they can try to build another creature, but they've got no cards in the hand. They can go for Sram, but I think that's going to be their entire mana base. And I think we should get it on this one. So at the very least, base tokens. We've got combat damage. We've got Wingmate Rock giving us some life gain. And so let's see. So let's see what our opponent's up to. All right, so our opponent's going to go for... Our opponent said what happened to their token. And so unfortunately, I don't have the game log pulled up, but I'll go back and look and see what happened. But yeah, something happened to their token. So let's see what they end up going for with the batter. About the only thing that they can do is they can get enough stuff in lifelink onto a creature by equipping Sword of Light and Shadow, because that's going to be basically extra life, because lifelink and combat damage happen at the same time. So they go for Sword of Feast and Famine, and that's going to be 10, so that puts them up to 20. So we've basically got to clear 20. So it's going to be this is going to be 6, 18. Yeah, I think we've got it. All right, opponent's going to scoop it up on that one. Something happened to their token, and so they didn't gain life for it or anything. But to be perfectly honest, even without... I don't know what happened. I'll go back and look, because something happened to where they lost some of their tokens. But still, at the end of the day, even if they do kind of redeploy out and get some life gain, once we go for Isshin next turn, that's going to be, I think, 10 total mana or 9 total. Either way, we're going to be able to go for Isshin off of that last land drop last turn. That's going to be double Fervent Charge triggers, +2/+2. We simply have more than enough creatures to kind of get rid of that life gain, or at least get their life total down pretty low. And at the very least, if we weren't able to worry about that, but we'd still be able to deal with Nahiri. Our opponent said they were dead anyway, but it's the principle of what happened. So I'll kind of see what happened as far as some of that stuff getting gone. But yes, this is exactly what you want to see in Isshin. You want to be able to get some nice mid-range threats, go for some good board control, and kind of go from there. I was not expecting mono-white Super Friends from Sram, but I guess somebody told Sram that there's a new Voltron threat out there, and Sram got mad. So anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.